I don't have a college degree. I don't even have a job. But I know a good kid when I see one. Because they're all good kids. Until dried-out, brain-dead skags like you drag them down and convince them they're no good. You so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in this school, and I hear about it, and I'm coming looking for you. Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face.
I love this scene because it reminds me of the person that you hope you are when you're in a situation like this. I feel like the things that he says are the things that most people would think of saying after they get out of this type of situation. Like, oh, if I had to do it again, I'd go back in and say that. Shit, why didn't I say that, right? But he just says it because he doesn't give a shit. He's got nothing to lose. And I swear to God, this guy reminds me of my future father-in-law. Just his quirks, his funniness. I mean, not his lifestyle, but just the way he's goofy and the things he does is my future father-in-law. This guy is hilarious. So I don't know, guys, but literally just if you have not seen Uncle Buck, and I hope to God that you have, you owe it to yourself to watch the damn movie. It's just another movie that is a classic. And I don't really even want to tell you guys anything about it because by doing that, I'm going to ruin it. So you haven't watched it, watch Uncle Buck. Another actor that, oh God, died way too early. I can only imagine the stuff that John Candy would have done if he was still with us. And he went out in such a shitty movie, Canadian Bacon. I mean, that movie isn't even that great. John Candy was he was a legend. The guy was in anything that was funny. I remember him in movies like Splash, obviously Uncle Buck, which we just talked about, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Cool Runnings, man. Jesus, the guy's been in everything. And he just was way too overweight, so, and he had a heart attack. So I just, sucks. It sucks when he died. Just like it sucked when Chris Farley died and Phil Hartman and all these other people that we're talking about. I really hope I'm not dragging you guys down in this episode, but man, it's just like, I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed that scene. So classic. Here's a quarter. Go downtown and have some rat. Gnaw that thing off your face. I love the end. Good day to you, ma'am. It's fucking awesome. But anyway, moving on. I got one more thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys today, and that is the Mortal Kombat Pack 2 was released. Guys, I've been talking about this for a while, really excited about what was going to be released, what Ed Boon was going to show us, because, it's one of those things when the Kombat Pack comes out, we see kind of like the initial trailer, then he teases our balls with the gameplay a little bit, and then we got to wait a while for this to actually come out. But, yeah, I really can't talk today. Sorry, guys. But this Kombat Pack 2 actually has some really good stuff in it. I've kind of briefly already talked about, the characters that were going to be involved, but let's do just a little bit of a recap. So we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So everybody is excited about that because, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can't get any more badass than that. And it's great to actually be able to face up against Jason. So if you guys are a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then there you go. You can kind of, team up, against Jason and do your thing. Also, they have Bo Ride Show, which a lot of people are kind of on the fence about. Bo Ride Show is actually, he was the fat drunken master guy who kind of threw up in the game. They added something kind of funny in this game, in this version of the character. You see him throw up, and then he like jumps on the guy's face and farts. And even though it's dumb, it's just like it's Drunken Master. I'm not saying that I actually studied Drunken Master for excuse me. I studied Drunken Master for about maybe 2 months, and that was towards the end of my martial arts career. But Drunken Master, they don't fart and throw up, obviously, in their fighting style, but it's all about just kind of the movements that the body takes on when your motor skills start to fail. If you're in kind of a fight, You can throw somebody off if you look like you're drunk and kind of use those fluid, almost fall over, but roll, get up and punch quick, toss somebody over your back as you're rolling. It's really interesting moves that are, surprisingly effective. So this character has all those moves, and they do a really good job of actually bringing that stuff into the game. I mean, you forget, it is Mortal Kombat. It is a fighting game, but the styles and the design that goes into these games, I mean, these designers study the martial arts, and they have people come in and say, he should move more like this. That's not the way the move likes. And I'm looking at Bowie Cho, and they did a really good job with him because he's doing things that make his movements look a lot more smooth. Whereas in the previous games, I thought he was kind of clunky and he was very hard to use and he was slow. But he looks like he could be a very effective character in this game if you know how to use him. So Bowie Cho, looking forward to actually seeing and messing around with that character. And also, they're bringing in Triborg, which is great. Because if you were ever a fan of the 3 robots such as Sector, Cyrax, and Smoke, then this is the character that you're going to want to jump into. And I'm assuming, and I don't know yet, but in Mortal Kombat 10, every character has 3 different fighting styles. So I'm assuming that one's going to be Sector, one's going to be Cyrax, and one's going to be Smoke. It would just make too much sense for that to be the case. So, I'm looking forward to actually playing with those characters because Cyrax was an all-time favorite character of mine. He did a lot of cool stuff. And he had a lot of cool weapons, and he kind of had that net that was very reminiscent of the Predator's net, which I always thought was a ripoff. So I'm kind of glad that the Predator's actually in the game because I am so going to fuck up Cyrax with the Predator. Anyway, moving on. They've also brought in Alien, or the Xenomorph. I was a little on the fence about this at first. When the character first was released and I saw that he was basically a Baraka alien, as far as like the mouth goes and the teeth, and then he had these 2 blades that kind of came out of his arms, I was a little kind of pissed off because I'm like, well, that's not the alien. The alien didn't have blades in his arms. The aliens didn't have Baraka teeth. But after seeing the gameplay, it looks like the alien is probably going to have 3 different fighting styles like they all do. And I'm hoping that one of those is actually just the human version of the alien, because the alien always takes on the characteristics of the host. And in the storyline of this alien character, it bursts out of Baraka. So it takes on the characteristics of the host, such as the teeth and the blades that Baraka has in his arms. So, and there were some moves with those arm blades, like the Baraka has this, this chopping kind of motion. With his blades in the game, and they gave that to the alien in the gameplay trailer. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. And there was also something really cool. They actually had an egg that opened up, and a face hugger jumped out of it onto one of the other characters, and then like another alien came out of nowhere and like tripped that guy. So I think it's kind of cool, that they allow those things to happen because it's almost like, when the aliens, they kind of colonize. So, there probably would be more of them around. So, I don't know, really interesting. Looking forward to seeing that and playing this game because I can't wait to see, as they release more and more information because that's what Ed Boon does. He releases the gameplay. Then he'll throw out a couple fatalities here and there to kind of give you like an idea, or teaser fatalities. Like you see almost everything up to the last move, and then it cuts, and then you got to actually download the combat pack. So I'm assuming that that will be coming out soon. It did have a early 2016 release title, so who knows? I'm probably thinking within the next month or two, they'll start releasing those characters, and it's going to be one by one, just like they did with the damn fucking Predator, where we had to wait like 4 months to get the Predator. We had to go through the 2 other characters that came out first, which was fine. But I mean, the whole point of this was actually I wanted to play the Predator. That's how psyched up I was about this. And you guys know how invested I am in that damn character and the alien. So the fact that these characters are in my favorite video game of all time is just freaking awesome. So, yeah, with that being said, guys, I think that's pretty much all that I have to talk about this week on Tony Flyin Solo. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the audio that I threw in for you. If you haven't checked out the Combat Pack 2, guys, just go to Twitter and scroll through my feed or redbeardpodcast.com or at redbeardpodcast, and you can see the trailer for the Mortal Kombat Combat Pack 2 if you want to check that out. So make sure that you guys check out next week's episode. I'm going to be teaming up again with the one and only Don Carrara. Him and I are going to be actually getting together this weekend and recording the podcast a little earlier so that I can release it for you on Wednesday. And, it's just we got to find a time for our schedules to work together, and weekends and Fridays is usually the best time. So we are going to be talking about a lot of celebrities and their appearances and how they have changed from when they were younger until they are older. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Of course, we're going to crack on shit, but that's the whole point. So make sure that you check out, Tony Flyin Solo next Wednesday. And also, guys, Redbeard Podcast as usual. And, my boy Cooley Show on Friday, hanging with Cooley. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me. R.I.P. to all the actors that passed away. And with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Later.